This is Bridge, the Fabricator Studio Developer Toolbar. It's very much like an AnimBot style toolbar you can see up here. And it has the little bridge icon. And so I'm going to take you through element by element. And what I'm going to do is let's start all the way on the right with the settings. And if you right click that, you can, at the top of the settings, you can choose where you want to put the toolbar. I've actually been liking it on the top recently, so we're going to leave it up there. Then the next section, we have a button to customize the layout. If you press that, you'll see a little green line, draw around the bar. And from there, you can actually move elements around if you want, as you can see. So you can actually rearrange the layout and click away to stop that. And if you right click back, you can show and hide tools. So from this thing, you can actually turn on and off different elements. I've been turning off the insert joints and offset joints. I just kind of like the button layout right now. So that's how you do that. We have the Connect AI. You can watch the AI TA video for more information on that. So that's basically how to connect your LLM to the tool set. And then we have hide tool if you want to hide the toolbar. But if you're wondering, how do I bring it back? You can press the little FS icon on the on this toolbar. I can't remember the name of it, and that'll bring it back. You can also hide it. All right, now let's go to the left. So from here, these are all the different about and informational pages that'll open up your web browser and take you to the official website page. You can also file a bug through here. So this will take you to the GitHub page, and you can file an official GitHub bug, which will be sent directly to me and the team, and we'll take a look at it. Next, we have our project chooser dropdown. So here you can quickly change your project. Here's where you can do the project setup, which is also covered in another video. Go check that out. Over here is a cool little tool. If you press this icon here, it'll flip through 4 different tools. We have sequential renamer, we have search and replace, prefix and suffix, and the select by name. For example, if you want to rename a bunch of joints, the hash renamer here, we can type in, test and then underscore hash. You'll see it'll sequentially rename all of your joints. So that's pretty awesome. And then we also have the search and replace. We have prefix and suffix. You can add prefix and suffix or whatever. And then name tools. So if you want to wildcard, so you can say test and then put that, grab all those nodes for you. Next, we have file buttons. So if you right click your scene tools, just, some common functions. This is a really nice open scene button. It'll actually open the open scene dialog in the scene that you're in. So we're in the Reggie idle scene right now. So to open the load scene dialog in this folder. So you can just kind of quickly navigate from there, which is way nicer. We also have reload scene. So if you want to just quickly reload it, we're not going to do that, but you can easily do that. If you're in a rig scene, you can you can go straight to the source scene, or if you're in the source scene, it'll take you straight to the rig scene. And then we also have a batch runner. So if you press that, we'll cover this in another video, but yeah, you can access multiple files at once. Next, we have our export tools. If you press that, you get the model and the animation exporter, also covered in another video. Next, we have our clipboard tools. You can right click that and you copy. So if we have the head selected, you can copy that. And you can see here that, it copied the name of that thing. Or you can copy the scene name, the scene directory, or the scene full path. So you can see it gives us the full path there. Next are some create buttons. So if you want to create a join, create some nulls, create some locators, and just some, convenience here. If you right click the selection tools, gives you some quality of life buttons here. So you can select child joints, select your child meshes, select all the influencing joins, select all the influence message of what you have selected. Here are some mirror functions. Here's the match transformation tools, or the snap from A to B tools. Next are your skeleton tools. So if you press it, you get the skeleton IO tool, where you can save and load in your skeletons. And if you right click, you get some convenience functions, like you can just save a temp skeleton, load in that temp skeleton. And then next we have our skin tools. Press that, you get skin IO, which is also covered in another video. And if we right click, we get auto skin, also covered in another video. And then you can also save temp skin, import your temp skin. You can disconnect all skin clusters in the scene and reconnect all skin clusters in the scene, also covered in another video. And then just some convenience things. You can combine selected skinned meshes, and you can also separate skinned meshes. And then that'll also open the skin IO window. Next, we have the Fabricator tool button. So that'll just bring up the Fabricator tool. Close that. Next, we have the control editor. So this is to make quick changes to the control shapes, the NURBS curves, also covered in another video. And then to the right of that, we have some skinning helping functions. So we have things like add influence. So you can, if you need to add a joint to your influence, so you can select a joint, select the mesh, and press add influence. This is to remove influence, same sort of setup. And this is a nice tool. This is the smush tool. So it's kind of like the hammer weights tool, but in hammer weights kind of goes 100%. You can only press it once. This This will kind of incrementally hammer out the weights, or I call it smoosh out the weights. And you can also kind of set the strength and how many iterations it goes through every time you press it. So it's kind of nice, a really nice button while you're skinning. This will copy weights. So if you select some vertices or even just one vertice, it'll copy the averaged weights of those vertices, and then you can paste them with the next button onto a selection. So this is great for things like buttons that you want to stick to one vertice, maybe on the shirt or something, but you want all of them to stay at one influence. You can copy the influence from the one vertice and then paste it onto that button. And this is an average weight. So same sort of thing. You can select that button, fill the vertices, and then you can just average the weights on them. Next is the paint on select paint weights button. So this one is just a convenience button where if you turn it on, every time you select a mesh, it'll go into paint weights mode. So you can just like unselect things, you can make another selection, it'll take you right into paint weights mode. It just makes going to paint weight mode much faster. Let's turn that off. And then we have our Pose and Animation Studio library, which we go through in another video. You can check it out. Finally, AITA, Reggie, which we go through in another video. Go check it out. This is probably the coolest tool. It's my favorite one. And then the settings that we already went through. All right, and that's Bridge. Enjoy it.